Hi, this is Pastor Bob, and welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Behind me is a pizza place. It's not just any pizza place, it's an all-you-can-eat pizza place. If you've got $5 in your pocket, you can have all the pizza that you can possibly eat. That sounds good to some of you. And some of you, you're not so sure. But what would happen if you'd never had pizza before? And you took a look at it and you said, I'm not so sure about that. It looks a little strange, and all those foods and combination don't sound very good to me. Well, you say everybody likes pizza, but you only know that if you eat it. And then you can tell that you like it. And I like it, by the way. Well, today I want to talk about stereotypes. And I want to talk about, the biggest one that I deal with all the time, and that's the stereotypes about Christianity. One of the things that I see the most on the internet, and a lot of it's leveled towards me, is that I'm not a free thinker because I'm a Christian. Because if I were a free thinker, I wouldn't be a Christian. Well, that's the mentality. In other words, if I really thought about things intellectually and really reasoned it through, I wouldn't be a Christian. And yet, when people tell me what they are instead of a Christian because they're a free thinker, I think, wow, it takes a whole lot more faith to do that than what I've got. The reason that I'm a Christian, for me, is that I am a free thinker. I don't fit in a box very well. You can probably tell that by looking at me. I just don't fit in boxes. I don't want to fit in a box. I want to be true to my own convictions, to my own decisions. I don't want to follow something just because everybody else is. And there are two ways to live your Christian life we've talked about before. You can adopt a religious institution, or you can become a follower of Jesus Christ. And there's really a difference between the two. One is basically a belief system, and you have to have a certain amount of that to be a Christian, obviously. But the other is developing a relationship, and it's a twofold thing. Now, when somebody says that they're not a Christian because they're a free thinker, because they've intellectually reasoned it out and it falls short, you have to believe in something because you're here, because you're standing here, because the earth around you has some kind of order to it, because the sun comes up every day, whatever it might be. There's a reason for things that happen around you. And a lot of that has to be explained in some way. So you can explain it by random chance, which takes a whole lot more faith than I have. Or you can begin to think about it as being created. And, 50 years ago, scientists decided that the universe did have an origin. Well, what happened there? How did that happen? And who was behind it? What was behind it? How did it just automatically come to be? Well, those are things that everybody has to wrestle with. And from that to my personal values, to my feelings, to how I live every day, and to communicating and connecting with the one being that I believe is responsible for the beginning of everything. And that's God. Now, I've been a Christian again for 56 years now. And I'm only a Christian, folks, because I've chosen to be, not because somebody told me I should. I was raised in a Christian family, but I've questioned that. And I've come to the conclusion, based on what I've read and what I've experienced, that this is real for me. And when somebody says that I'm not a free thinker, that I'm locked into some kind of institution, they're very, very wrong. That's not me. And that's not a lot of people that I know. Now, let me say that it is a lot of people that I know as well. Some people have simply adopted a belief system, and it doesn't go any farther than that, and I wonder why they stay with it. Because I think that's the advantage of Christianity over everything else, is that it's not just a belief system, it becomes a relationship. And I hope that you'll keep that in mind when you're making this really difficult decision, that you can be a free thinker and not commit intellectual suicide and be a Christian. Doesn't mean you have to adopt all of its traditions. I haven't. It doesn't mean that you have to be like most of those Christians that you know, because I'm not, if you haven't noticed. But it does mean that you can be a free thinker and that you begin to put all of these things around us in some kind of an order. And once you've tasted, like the pizza, you find out that there's something there. At least I have. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me with it. I'm not delusional. Well, some people might say I'm a little bit delusional. But I'm only here because I know that this is the way it is. So we're going to talk more about this in the weeks to come. But this is a beginning of a conversation that I hope that you'll have with each other and that you'll have with yourself, and especially that you'll have with God. God bless you. Have a great day.